Hey everyone, my name is Tree, and this is another build challenge. For those that have caught the previous ones, thank you very much for watching those. If you are new here, my name is Tree, and we do occasional build challenges over here on YouTube. Now the way in which it works is you vote for the block palette, you vote for the theme, and you vote for the biome, and I've got to make it. So here's today's biome. We're currently in a snowy biome, just kind of in front of a mountain here. And what I'll do, I'll just jump over to the site and show you what block palette you guys voted for. And here you have it. Let's take a look at the block palette. So, you guys have voted for Blackstone this week, Acacia, and Copper. There we go. So this is going to be a really interesting block palette to use, especially in a snowy biome. So thank you very much for all those that have voted in the Discord, live on Twitch, and caught the build as we've done it. The build for this time is going to be a Lighthouse, another build I've not really done before, but I didn't want to go traditional with this, so it is a little bit different. So thank you very much for everyone who has voted. I hope you enjoy this one. I'll jump straight into the video just now in the time lapse, talk over some of the bits and what we did. And if you have any questions or have any comments, just pop them down below. If you're obviously not subscribed already, click that little subscribe button because it really helps us out. And if you want to watch till the end, it helps us out even more. So thank you very much everyone. Enjoy this one and I'll catch you at the end. Alright, so let's just get into this build today. This one's a little bit different. You can actually see I've started to build on the coastline at the front and not the mountain behind. The reason for that is my world edit skills are not that great. I couldn't work out how to take away all the water. I could have left it, but I meant taking down all the trees. So we actually started to build it on the waterfront here. Using world edit, we used a lot of cylinders, we used spheres, we also used the gravel and sand to try and build up the initial sort of build. And you can actually see here we're starting to use the sort of the smaller shapes to try and kind of piece it together and build it up. So at the beginning it was then sand, gravel, and we moved on to stone to try and get a sort of layer on the top. Later on in this build we actually moved on to use snow. I need to learn more about the masking tool. It probably would be a little bit quicker to use masking and then get that sort of pattern effect without me doing it manually, which could have probably saved a little bit of time. But this is probably the biggest sort of terraforming I've done with world edit before. So again, if anyone has any videos that you want to share in the comments down below of people using world edit for terraforming, I'd love to see them. It's something that I'm starting to learn, and that's by doing these build challenges. I'm starting to push myself creatively to try and get better builds and bigger builds, and using this to kind of manipulate it to do what I want. So this is probably the first bigger one I've done. I didn't want to go too big, but big enough to kind of get my foot in. You can see how I tried to do the masking, wasn't very good at it before actually moving on to the lighthouse itself. So I do like the shape that we're able to get here. It's meant to be an overarching cliff edge over the water, and the lighthouse is going to sit right on the pinnacle of the top of the mountain. With the gradient pattern, we started off with just Blackstone, and we've done columns for that. Then we moved on to the cracked Blackstone, again just going up every so often. Everyone you can see here is just at a slightly different height. Here we added in the Acacia, bringing it one level inside, so when you're looking at it from the outside it's a little bit more of a texture, more of a pattern than just a straight flat build. At least looking at this from the outside, you can see here's a bit more of a pattern with the Blackstone kind of streaking through the orange, which I thought was really nice. So the Acacia wood that's stripped is probably one of my favourite blocks to use. I do love orange. Orange is probably my favourite colour since I was a kid, so Acacia wood has a small soft spot in my heart. So continuing off to the top, once we got the Acacia, we then started to work on the actual top of the lighthouse now. So the top of the lighthouse was back to sort of the gradient with the Blackstone bricks, cracked Blackstone bricks, and then we started to use some of the stairs to kind of make this sort of elevation so it goes out the way along the top. So once we sort of detailed the corners, we put in some walls, we used the Acacia gates, and we also used the iron bars, that's the word I'm looking for. I could get the word out. And then eventually sort of made that sort of the detail so it looked a bit sharper from the top, as if it's like a top of a castle or something. Here we are moving on to the copper roof. This is going all the way for, they're all waxed because it's in creative with a high tick speed, so I used waxed ones the whole way, so which you can see the different variations of copper and getting the sort of domed, sort of arching roof effect. Now there's actually a few people on Instagram and TikTok and stuff that I've seen videos on that do this technique, and it's really nice. Not sure I did it as good as them, definitely didn't do it as good justice, but I gave it a go, and I really liked that one. Here we go for the inside of the actual light effect though. I was going to start off small with just using the shroom lights, so thank you very much for those that suggested to use shroom lights. We started to do the interior, and we've made a sort of chain effect at the top and the bottom to kind of hold the light in place. A bit like the Eye of Sauron is what we went for. little bit more detailing on the outside, a couple of windows that we added in. That was the first one. You'll actually see the other one slightly later on in the build, where we added it to the front where the door entrance is here. But what I'd now come back to, once we've completed the actual main lighthouse, I did want to do more, but we were running out of time on the live stream, because each of these we try and keep it down to about sort of 3 to 4 hours tops. This one was about 3 hours and 40 minutes, which was getting near to the end, but we want to try and keep it quite short of that, because these should be quick, easy, sort of nice and challenging for me, but nothing too long that we don't want to spend days and days doing. These are just meant to be short build challenges for me to push myself creatively. So here we have the overarching effect. We've moved on with the snow and the ice. We used all the ice blocks to kind of work on a gradient. We put that underneath that side as sort of test piece. I kind of went away from it for a little bit to kind of focus on the top with the trees, because I was wanting to try and see what it would look like before I then did the rest of the build. So you can see I actually started with the top before moving on to the rest. There goes the replace tool instead of mask, because I know how to use that one. It does give me that straight line effect on the wall and the cliff face there, but that's something that you'll see me fix just in a second. I add a bit more of a gradient to it, which is kind of making it a bit nicer than just using replace. So again, if anyone knows how to use the mask and paint tools better, put the comments down below. I'd love to watch them, because I have no idea. Some videos make sense, some don't, and I've been struggling to kind of get my head around that one. So I'll try and work on that for next time. But yeah, we went for spruce trees just to kind of continue in with the rest of the sort of the biome effect. Later on at the end of the video, you'll see me actually turning on the snow, or rather turning on the weather, so we can get more of a snow effect to kind of make everything look very, very similar. So yeah, so this one's been probably one of the biggest ones for terraforming, I must admit. I had really enjoyed building this. I'd like to know a little bit more to kind of make this bigger and better, but I think for my first proper terraforming one on this build challenge, I was quite happy with it. The only thing I'd maybe do better next time, I'd say, is probably the lighthouse. We didn't get around to do the interior of the lighthouse, unfortunately, because obviously, as I say, we run out of time, and I don't want to keep these challenges going. But these are all going to be available as schematics within the Discord. Firstly, available to Patreons and then to everybody else. But again, this was a cracking build. You'll see here just the weather will change. There we have it, and I'll hand you back over to Tree, and he'll continue off and talk about some of the finer details that we had for the build. Well, thank you very much, other Tree. Well, here we are at the top of the tower. So thank you very much for everyone who has watched the entirety of that time lapse. It's very much appreciated. It was certainly one of my favourite builds to do. So thank you very much for anyone that joined in during the live stream, gave me feedback during the live stream, was able to vote in the Discord, vote on the live stream. It is all very much appreciated, and this is the kind of stuff that we come up with. So this has certainly been one of the more interesting ones to build. So I just want to say again, thanks. Let's just go for a little bit of a tour. Let's just take you around, have a little look around. So you can see obviously with the actual tower that we ended up with, I was very, very happy with the design and the way in which it turned out, including obviously the shape of the cliff edge down below. Very, very happy with how that all turned out. Coming over to the trees themselves, obviously coming up from the biome down below, I tried to blend it in as best I could in the time that we had. So it kind of goes down. If I wish I had more time, I'd probably look at putting more features up the path all the way up to the lighthouse itself. I think adding those in would probably be added an extra little touch to this if we had the time. As you can see, obviously with the top of the build, as we go to the lighthouse, I'll just pop inside. As you can see from here, we didn't get it done. We just didn't have the time on this one. So this is probably the first one that we've not actually done an interior on, which is a little bit sad, but it's okay. So the point of these is to basically challenge me as a builder and try and see what I can come up with. So yeah, so this is what we did. So thank you very much everyone for watching. I'll leave it there for today. I'll hopefully catch all you guys in the next video. But again, let me know in the comments down below if there is any world edit videos you want me to watch. And if you want to join the Discord to vote or join the live streams on a Wednesday night, you're more than welcome to do so. But till then, take care guys. I'll speak to you all very, very soon. See you later.